Hey everybody, welcome to Food Dude and Friends. I'm Dave Cathey, the Food Dude. I've been covering food in Oklahoma since 2008. Started this little podcast with my very good friend, Julie Porter Scott. Hey Julie.
Hey.
Are you excited?
I am so excited.
You don't seem excited.
I don't?
Come on, let's get fired up.
I really am excited.
Should we jump up and down? It's a new podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my seat.
Okay.
I'm settled.
You're here to keep us within the rails.
For sure.
All right.
I think that it's rich that's my role.
Well, you and I have both covered food and drink in this little town for quite some time.
Yes. And we have fun getting together to talk about.
So then one day we said, hey, we should do a podcast.
Right.
This town needs one, right?
We sit down, we start talking, and 20 minutes later we're like, that could have been.
That could have been a podcast, right?
Something.
And not to mention, we also happen to know most of the food people in this town, the chefs, the owners, the bartenders, everybody, the ranchers, the farmers, you name it. We've got all those relationships. We've got folks that we love to talk to, love to talk to us. So why not share that, right?
Well, and I think too, different people like to get information in different ways.
That's right.
And your Substack is great.
That's right. The Food Dude feed, yes.
And we love it. And we love, following all your pictures on social.
Yes. Yes.
But we felt like the podcast might fill another niche for folks who are used to getting information that way. Yeah. And then if they want to do a deeper dive,
that's right.
We have those other platforms.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be talking about all that kind of stuff. And we will be, the whole, I think really at the core of this is just driving conversation.
Sure. About
local food and dining. And why? Because Oklahoma City is on the map.
Yeah. And I think statewide too, I think folks are getting out more, exploring more. Amazing. I don't know if you tried to fly anywhere this summer, but flights are crazy.
Yeah, it's much better to get in a car.
It's so much better to get in a car.
I have traveled to Oklahoma.
And I think getting up into places like Bartlesville or Ponca, spending a little
we're going to
bit of
Idabel.
time. Oh,
no, we're going to Idabel.
We are totally going to Fat Tap.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to order in advance, which is a lesson that I had to learn the hard way this Memorial Day weekend when I was down at Broken Bow. But the other thing that I'm really interested in getting into with you is there are a lot more food and drink events around Oklahoma than there used to be,
100%.
And even events that have been around for a long time. The food and the drink is taking so much more of a front seat at those events.
Yes.
And I want to, number one, I want to go to those events, but I also want to be able to talk about them far enough in advance that everyone knows about them and can join in.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is, first things first, I mentioned how Oklahoma City's on the map, but you're right. This is a statewide podcast. And in Oklahoma, we're a small community here. Heck, we're basically the size of a large city anyway when you put us all together.
Right.
We're just spread out a little bit. And the talent is all over the state in all four corners. So, and we're also open to hearing about it too, right?
Well, and I think too, we both live in Oklahoma City. Yeah. So that's the area that we know best. But we have great friends all over the state. And to bring those friends in and be able to talk to them about the nuance things that are happening in their neck of the woods, I think that's going to be really fun. And there's so much going on that it's almost impossible for us to keep track of everything on our own. So by pulling in those other folks.
100%. And we want to hear from you folks in the comments, on email, on social media, however it is you can track us down. We want to hear from you. We want to know what stories you want to hear. And if you've got a story that's food related or drink related, well, we may want to have you on the show. So
and I'll give out your personal cell phone number the end of the show.
Because I'm so lonely. Somebody call me, please. So but hey, what we're going to do though is we're going to talk food, we're going to talk drink, we're going to talk what's coming, what's gone. We're also going to have some segments that we'll introduce as we grow into the show. That'll be more standalone, a little more in-depth, you might say, but maybe not seriously in-depth.
Right.
For fun.
Well, there are some experts out there in just like one type of cuisine.
Yeah, and we'll have those folks in.
I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll do all kinds of stuff like that. We will be telling stories. We will be sharing stories. But today, we have a very special guest that's going to join us today, and we want to get to that as quickly as we can. But before we do, we wanted to maybe, talk about a little bit of the news that's going around here, at least here in Oklahoma City. I don't have a lot on Tulsa yet.
Sure.
But I do know this. I do know a place called Noche in Tulsa that opened maybe a month ago. Upscale Mexican restaurant. definitely want to check that out when you're in Tulsa. But here in Oklahoma City, I think there's been a lot going on lately.
Yeah.
To me, the biggest news has to do with Nick's Grill. Okay, so Nick's Grill, goes way back to the 90s. How many times have you been to Nick's?
Whoa. How many times have I stood in line outside
For a massive,
wondering if I can push my next thing?
just to get a massive hamburger that's going to make you want to feel like you want to go to bed.
Just go take a nap.
Just to do that. So Nick's has been around since the middle 90s. And then, I don't want to get it wrong. I think it was about 9 years ago or so that he opened Nick's Place on Robinson in downtown Oklahoma City. Well, he just closed that place at the end of last month. And that's sad news. But the upshot to that is he said once he closed that place, that means he can bring breakfast back to Nick's Grill.
That's great.
Yes.
That breakfast.
Yeah.
And I loved Nick's. I love the downtown spot.
Yeah. Beautiful.
But it was beautiful. But I do think there's something to be said for if it's just not working the way that it did. I mean, that the fact that it survived the pandemic, I think was kind of amazing. But that doesn't mean it was going to keep working, and to still have the OG Nick's.
Yeah, you're still going to have. Yeah, I know people that preferred the breakfast to the burgers.
Sure.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge get for the city. Before I move on from that, so Nick is not quite there on breakfast. He said, "Give me a couple of weeks."
Okay.
So probably into the month. I'm thinking into June we should be in breakfast at.
So we'll update folks.
Yes. Next
when
time,
we've...
we will definitely in the next show we'll have some kind of an update one way or another. Definitely don't want to leave that hanging. A couple other new things. Chisholm Creek has been very busy. I was over there on Sunday and checked out 20 Pho Hour.
Okay, wait. Is that the place? It's like black and white. It looks like you're in a comic.
Yes.
I saw some pictures.
You're leaping into the Take On Me video from AHA.
Okay.
Is what it feels like when you walk in the door. Except there's some stuff coming out of the walls, like a winged Pegasus type looking guy, and then a life-sized ramen man.
Okay.
And a coffee cup man.
Huh.
That kids can
and they're
like
Kool-Aid man out in right out of the wall.
Like Kool-Aid man, but they're black and white also.
Huh.
Everything's black and white. Food was really good. Tried a dumpling soup. It had a veggie broth, really nice, really light, really good. Some summer rolls, just one meal, but it seemed like, hey, they know what they're doing. It's an outfit out of Orlando, Florida. They only have a store there, a store in Kissimmee, Florida, and one here.
Oh, wow.
So family moved out, opened the place, or I don't know if it's family or not, but it's partnership from the original, came out to open the place. It is in soft opening June 3rd through 9th.
Okay.
So don't tell anybody, but they are opened.
Okay.
And you can get a discount even if you go in.
And is it in that little...
The Market Street, I believe they call that.
area?
Market Street within Chisholm Creek.
Okay.
Used to be a chocolate store there before, right by Reserva. Right next to Reserva there.
Okay.
And right behind, or sharing the same building, is a new Spark.
Oh.
Spark from the park.
Scissortail.
Yeah, Scissortail Park. And so Spark.
Man, I love those fries.
Oh yeah, the little crinkle fries.
Oh, they're so good.
The beet sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. And so so they've expanded a little bit there, and they've also picked up a Dave's Hot Chicken.
Oh, cool.
At Chisholm Creek. So yeah, if you like your fried chicken spicy, or if you like your grilled chicken spicy,
Yeah.
you know where to go. So well done,
Excellent.
Chisholm Creek.
Well, I think it's fun to see Chisholm Creek come to that point, because that was the promise of Chisholm Creek.
Right.
And we've gotten, we've had some things go in and come out. But I think that variety and the idea that you can go there with a big crew and everybody can kind of get what they want, and then maybe you meet at Top Golf, or you do some high fly or something.
It really is the development. I think that you can take the kids, and on Sunday there was a bunch of kids out playing in the playground there.
Yeah,
they built next to the fountain. So all that seems like it's working. Well done, Chisholm Creek. We're happy to have that happening. I think, though, of the recent news that is most exciting to me, I was able to spend a little time with Kelly Whitaker, the chef who's behind Id Es, the group of restaurants out of Colorado that recently purchased Nonesuch. And we talked for about 30, 45 minutes. And he just talked about sort of their sustainability principles. Kelly's currently up for Best Chef in America by the James Beard Award, or James Beard Foundation. He'll find out on June 10th. or June 11th, sorry, whether or not he's won that. And he did tell me that if he wins, None Such will be on the marquee.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so
didn't even think of that.
No, right. Yeah, it's a new thing. He said he just last week had to fill out the paperwork and the deal was done. So None Such went on the list.
Okay, all right.
So well done, Kelly.
Well, we are excited about that.
Super excited. And I'm even more excited after listening to his Mara King. She is in charge of fermentation for all of the Idest restaurants. And she has an amazing story. She was born and raised in Hong Kong and came by her skills the hard way, like working her way through restaurants really all over the world. And she's developed these skills they're highly sought after. And she taught a little seminar yesterday to a lot of local restaurateurs and bartenders, just who were wanting to up their game. And just based on what I heard, I can tell you that this new iteration of None Such is going to be so important for the city going forward.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
It felt like such a leveling up for the city at the original time.
Yeah.
For those of us that remember Nani.
Yeah.
In the little house on Classen.
Yeah. And it was a level up for sure.
It was a level up to see it go into the beautiful space.
Yep.
Did they talk at all about the bar? There's going to.
Yeah. So, during the pandemic, the previous ownership had built a private dining room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That never really got off the ground. They did some stuff in there, but it never quite.
It was a gorgeous room.
Gorgeous, yeah. But that is going to be, they're calling it the Den right now, and it's going to basically be like a cocktail bar.
Oh, okay.
And testing bar. Their chefs will, recipes that are in testing, they will run through that area. And so there'll be snacks just, like right out of the lab, basically. And then there'll be a cocktail menu. It'll have its own menu as well eventually. But some of the things, that's what he talked about for now, is that's how they want to use it. Mainly, they're just looking to get more use out of the space.
Oh, that's cool.
Going forward.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of ideas for that. And I just think that, there's an infusion of energy for that space that I think is going to be really important.
I love that idea too, because I feel like, for me, going to None Such very often can be pretty cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
But it's still a place I want to hang out. I want to be around.
And he touched on that too.
Really?
The price points. Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to have more entry points.
That's excellent.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because he just didn't feel like being open 3 days a week at one price point was the kind of model that he could get behind.
And it was always worth it. But it was definitely a special occasion place
and
in
eliminate
my
a lot
mind.
of people who might come in. How many people a night are ready for that?
Or you miss an entire sort of season of what they were doing over there. Yep. So this notion that you could, pop in and be there for an hour or two and kind of get a feel for what's up.
And they will be open 5 days a week.
Oh, great.
Forward. Like there's no more 3 day a week type stuff. At least 5, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
I mean, a 3 day week is good if you can get it.
Hey, we're all looking for it.
Right.
And so are they, but they're not there yet.
Yeah.
That was clear. So that's coming up. That's really exciting. Like I said, Kelly will be going to Chicago this week. He will not be the only chef from Chicago going to chef from Oklahoma City going to Chicago this week. Our much ballyhooed chef Jeff Chancellor will be there for the second year in a row. Once again nominated for Best Chef Southwest.
This has got to be his year, right?
Come on. Fingers crossed.
Can we just put that out there that it is?
Let's dream it into fruition, right? Right.
I'll be refreshing that live feed.
Hey, something folks should know, you can watch it live on YouTube.
Oh,
the
right on.
The awards are on YouTube. They were last year and they will be again this year. But so Jeff will be going to see if this is his year. Now, we're all behind you, Jeff. But, one thing Jeff did tell me last year is he ran into another very famous Oklahoma chef, Rick Bayless, who has a James Beard Award. And he talked to Chef Bayless after the awards, and he said that Chef was very kind to him and said, hey, just you need to know it took me 5 nominations before I ever got a win.
Yeah.
So, that was really cool. But Jeff will be there, hoping to bring that award home, and he won't be alone either. There's one other Oklahoma chef.
Right.
Andrew Black.
Chef Black.
Chef Black will be there. And as it turns out, we were fortunate enough to have him as our very first guest for this podcast.
We're so excited.
So yes,
so excited.
Without further ado, let's get into that introduction.
Okay.
For Andrew Black.
Let's do it.
All right, Jules, we've got a very special guest for this here first episode. This gentleman is the current holder of the James Beard Foundation's Best Chef Southwest Award. He's the owner-chef of Gray Sweater, Black Walnut, Gilded Acorn, and very soon, Perle Mesta. He is Chef Andrew Black.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are a dear old friend of this very brand new podcast because we both have known you for years, and it's great to have you.
And it's good to be here. It's good to see this is happening. I'm so excited for both of you.
Oh, you bet. You bet.
Thank you.
We wanted to have you on this week. We wanted to have you on anyway, but this week in particular, because 1 year ago this week, you were nervously planning a trip to Chicago that was very fateful, turned out very good for you. But take us back to the way you were feeling a year ago leading up to the James Beard Awards.
Well, gosh, now that I look back, there's just so much things you go through at a time. It's the excitement of going there, and you get there and there's all these parties planned for you. So you go to all these parties, and sometimes you're a little starstruck because you're seeing people that you watch on TV every day, and you're like, holy crap, I want to go say hello to that person, but then you're like, do you not? So you kind of work your way through it, and then the entourage that came with me, my ambassadors then and my business partner and everything, and being there, it take a time to really kick in that, oh my God, this is real, and you kind of feel out of place a little because you're so consumed in everything around you. Mm-hmm. And for me, I had a list of people I wanted to meet. But then you realize everybody's so busy with their own group and so many things going on, and you're excited. Yeah. So it was fun. But leading up to the event, the day of the event is when you really start to sweat. And you look for all the signs, Did anyone said good luck? Maybe you're not going to win. It's all these things kicking in, And I remember, I really remember a guy passed by me, and he turned around and he chased me down and said, hey, man, you're going to win tonight. And I don't know this guy from Adam. Right. And I'm like, okay, yeah, probably we're going to win. But then about 2 minutes after, another lady came up to me, and I'll never forget her. She's like, I don't know your name, but I passed you. I feel the energy. She said, I need you to sign this paper. I want your autograph.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, maybe there's something to this.
Fate is at work.
Right. Yeah. But then once they open the door, we couldn't find our seats. So we're thinking, okay, our seats is in the back. So I'm like, yeah, tonight is not our night. Why would they place us in all the way in the back? And then we realized, no, you're third row up front.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you sit there and it's all going on. And I never forget, Chance, my best friend, is sitting beside me. And they're going through, you start to enjoy the beginning of the show because you're like, okay, you don't really need to panic yet or don't think too much. This is the first part. Enjoy it. But then it comes to category. And I remember putting my head down and I looked at him and said, just tell me when it's our category. And then when I hear Andrew Black, Gray Sweater, Oklahoma, I got to tell you, I just feels like I remember feeling like the door for Oklahoma open. Yeah. Because you would think I get excited about me, but I got so excited to know that the name Oklahoma was called. Yeah. Because being there, when he said, hey, I'm from Oklahoma, everybody's like, well, what do you do down there?
Right.
You get that all your life. You're getting that. And so when that call, and then I remember Chance, Rudy, Masucha, everybody was like, no, you go on stage. And I looked at him and I said, I will never touch a stage until all of you come up. Yeah. Because it was about, and I kind of prepare a little speech, but not. Yeah. But I know once I got on stage, everything went through the window. The only thing I could remember is like Oklahoma. Oh, that's why you hear me keep saying Oklahoma.
Right.
Because I think also before that, I got wind that Dave and Kurt and everybody were having watch party and also at Gilded Acorn and everywhere, which I weren't aware of before.
Right.
So it's like it was so it just so much joy.
Yeah.
And I remember after we win, just it's like you're in space because you're walking around and it's like it's like your body's numb. You don't know what to do now, and then you're just in space watching everything and just
almost out of body.
Yeah.
You're watching yourself.
Exactly. And
That's amazing.
you know, the people you try to say hello to before that didn't say hello, they all come and say hello now.
Now they do,
You know? And now everybody started a conversation about Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
everybody, they're like, okay, so tell us about Oklahoma. I'm like, yeah, I was trying to tell you in the party before. You know?
But now you've got the medal on.
Right.
Right.
Now, listen, when you get the medal on.
Yeah, it's a whole different. It's like you get into this elite club, like literally.
Yeah, and that's what the next thing I wanted to have you talk to us about is, okay, so you win the award, it's great, it's this moment, and then, but after the fact, it's been crazy,
Yes,
right?
you know, so I'll tell you what we did. Winning the award is definitely good, and here's why I said it's for me where it's beneficial. I've always believed because I left home very young. So traveling and working, all I received was help from strangers. So I've always believed in giving back. Before the award, we tried our best and we raised a lot of money to give to charities. But I'll tell you, after the award, we raised over $180,000.
Wow.
Just giving back.
It's amazing.
So for me, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's what you do with it. And it's not an I thing. It's about what you do with it as a group now. So I was able to do that. And then we control our reservation. We didn't set it up where our regulars can't even get in. That's not what we did. We still maintain who we are and go from there. And one thing we try to do, like anyone wanted to interview us had to come to Oklahoma City. Because we still, even till today, want to showcase this great city that we're in.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then the flip side on that is that, you know, you'll have ambassadors, we call our employees, ambassadors will come to you and say, well, you know, Harry promised me $34 an hour now. So, you know, how can you match that? And that's when I said, you should never let Harry down. Go work for Harry.
Yeah.
But so, you know, there's those things. But here's a trick too. No, not a trick, but here's what happened. Most people in Oklahoma thought it was Black Walnut and Grace Sweater won the James Beard.
Yeah.
So then people come to Black Walnut and scrutinize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so many things you deal with in doing it, but
now there's an expectation for sure.
Oh,
Anything you touch,
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely.
Well, and the fact that those two restaurants are physically connected,
yes,
makes it really hard
Absolutely.
to untether
Yep.
the
Yep.
two.
Yep. But you know, overall, it's been a wonderful thing. Where do we stand in terms now? I think one of my favorite books is called The Power of Being Broke, because and the reason I say that, once we won the James Beard, we kind of let it sink in a little, and then we're like, next. Because, you know, that's why I said to especially younger generation, I said, you have to dream. If you don't dream without dreams, there's no ideas in reality. And we've dreamt about the James Beard for years. So while we achieve that, we now dream of what is the possibility of a Michelin? How do we get there now? Because it will come one day. Even if it doesn't come in our lifetime, it's our responsibility to set it up for who is coming after.
Yeah.
So it's those things now that we're more, we didn't let it consume us. We stay true to ourselves. We keep grinding. And yeah, that's where we are.
Now, before we get back to Oklahoma City, one thing that the winning the award afforded you was some travel.
Yes.
Take us
yes.
around the
So,
country.
you know, we travel a lot, but I'll tell you this. I was thinking about this the other day. That's a very good question because I think the James Beard ignited a little, but most of the traveling I've done are just relationships that I've built over the years.
Sure.
But definitely the James Beard does ignite it a little because we've been traveling we did New York, just came back from the Kentucky Derby. Did that. Was
What'd
one
you
of the
do at the Derby?
Oh man, I was one of the featured guest chefs there, and let me tell you,
fun.
we work and party like there's no tomorrow. I think we did 5 days, about 9 hours of sleep. It was but the experience was just unreal, you know.
Heck of a race too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't win any of the race, but it was fantastic. So we did Kentucky Derby, we did New York, we did Greenville. The most surprising place I've been to was Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been to Greenville probably about 18 years ago, and there was nothing there. But when I went back this time, it's kind of like Oklahoma. You go there and it's so surprisingly. There's so many restaurants. It's a foodie town, clean, just built up. So that was a good trip. Did Chicago. Going back to Chicago, leave on the 7th. So I'm one of the featured guest chefs for this year, James Beard. And right after that, I'm the guest speaker for the National Association Immigration Body of America, 17,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then in November, I'm going to Hawaii. I'm the headliner at their Food and Wine
Wow.
in Hawaii. So
It's a good time to go.
yeah, it keeps me busy, yeah. You know, and then next year, February, I leave to Morocco. With the travel advantage. We're taking 20 people on a food journey in Morocco.
That's amazing.
That will
So-
be incredible.
Yeah. So it keeps me busy, and it's good because especially now that we're attracting better ambassadors, we're just steadily building a platform now for everybody, so to speak. You know, I look around and gosh, I'm so grateful because the people that are on the journey with us now, it's like, you know, I can't find the words to describe them.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I consider myself very lucky.
You've worked really hard at it, and that is not lost on us for sure, and most folks I know. Now, that hard work, though, more recently, has been aimed at the Skirvin Hotel.
Yes, that's a very emotional one, and you know, so somebody must have known I was gonna either go for a James Beard or win a James Beard or something, because that has been over a year in the works.
Is that right?
Oh yeah,
That long?
this was way before the James
Yeah.
Beard.
Sure.
So it just shows that the stars are aligned because Skirvin, James Beard going back.
Yeah, Skirvin brought you to town in the
I
first place.
came
right?
to Oklahoma City
Yeah.
because of the Skirvin. I came here late 2006 and opened the Skirvin on 2007. My kids grew up in that hotel. I mean, when I came, I was just going through a divorce, so my two little kids used to sleep in the office. The GM, managers, everyone used to babysit these kids, like literally. You know, and so to go back now, everyone is like, are you excited? I said, I am excited, but it's more emotions than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there with you the other day, Dave, and the name Andrew Black was on the building, and I'm like, if someone had written this years ago, I would not believe.
Just such a full circle moment.
Just a full circle.
situation.
Yeah.
And to look in the restaurant and know I helped build that restaurant years back when it was a Park Avenue Grill. And all the things I wanted then wasn't there. And now going back and building it in there, man, you can't make that story up.
No, you really can't.
You can. It's a special place. And the funny thing is, I didn't realize this. So my two older kids grew up in the hotel. I met my daughter mother there now. She grows up in that hotel too. So when I look at all my time in Oklahoma, I'm like, holy crap. My life has been based in this hotel all along.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now going back there to do many more years if God willing. It's just
and
unbelievable.
I love the idea that it's what you always sort of dreamed of.
Yes.
You know, and probably even beyond that. You probably couldn't have dreamed what you dream now.
Absolutely.
Right? And it is beautiful. Tell us a little bit tell us what the experience is going to be like when people go to Perle Mesta on June 24th. Is that right?
June 24th. That's when we're open. Whether it's a storm, whether it's snowing, it is the day. Even if we have to, do everything on paper
so. It looks
plate.
like it's booked solid already.
It is.
I looked at the reservations this morning. It looks like no availability on opening night.
Yeah. What we do. So here's the method beyond that, right?
Yeah.
We're not opening up like a traditional restaurant where we do 4 days of soft opening where there's free food, free alcohol, and everybody's a critic.
Yeah.
It costs a fortune to do that in today's world. So we're going to train and we're open the door, but we're going to limit the number for about a couple of weeks to give us reputation and just everything to, get it right. Because it's not, I don't believe, like all my concepts, I don't think I'm anywhere in life now to get it wrong. The entire nation is expected to be right, 100%. Right. So excuse is not an option. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll open up more reservation after the fact that, we slowly get into it because it will come. Mm-hmm. But the Perle Mesta, I've always believed in this. So all my restaurants are significantly different for a reason. I travel a lot and I've always want to bring a part of the world into Oklahoma because I just feel like when we travel, we get excited about these places. We go, so why not bring it here? So, gray sweater is different, black walnut, gilded, everything. And this is how in my head I concept this. Black walnut is at a restaurant, you get loud and act like you have no table manners. Mm-hmm. And you just enjoy yourself and you're rubbing shoulder with a who knows who's and everybody. And you have fun, great food, cocktail, great atmosphere.
Very CNBC.
Exactly. Yeah. Gray sweater is, is that person who want to take you on this journey, want to impress you, want you to stop you in your busy life a little, said enjoy it. And Gilded Acorn, you wake up, you stretch a little and say, I just want some coffee, some pastries, enjoy life, easy going. But Perle Mesta, look at all of them and she's like, I created you all.
I love it.
I created you all.
Yeah.
That legacy wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
Like Perle Mesta herself.
Yeah,
right.
Kind of the OG hostess.
Exactly. The GOAT.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Totally.
So with that said, the process in my head is like, how do you not kill the history? How do you modernize the food going on in my repertoire, what I'm known for? Mm-hmm. But how do I also make you feel like you're in a different part of the world? What is the story going to be? What is going to be new or not necessarily new? Because I believe everything has been done already in this world. But what is the expectation all those things going to be? And then when I find those answers, I have to also know that in every city in the world is an iconic restaurant. Mm-hmm. New York, Waldorf Hotel has their iconic restaurant. You can even go to Memphis, they got Chez Philippe, the iconic restaurant. Paris, at the Ritz, same thing. I want to create something that we have a lot of good restaurants here, fantastic restaurant. Yeah. In my mind, we're still missing like a very iconic restaurant. And so that's the goal on Perle Mesta. People say, what is a cuisine? I don't believe in today's world, I don't allow myself to be trapped in a certain cuisine because there's so much out there. So the cuisine is based on possibility. And people are like, well, what is that, chef? You're getting crazy again. The possibilities where chefs were pushing the ideas of ingredients, culture, flavor, and bringing them together. It's a storytelling through different avenue of food that we're doing. So what is possible? Mm-hmm. What is possible? And it's funny thing. Last night I was talking to someone and they called me and they said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm writing this menu. And I mentioned a certain dish and the person said, ooh, I want to eat that. And I said, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Because you're so blind that you don't understand possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, and I can't wait for you to taste this dish because I'm taking you to a different possibility of what is possible. And I tell people this all the time. Like for me, I don't like okra. Don't like it at all. But, and I'm not big on fish and chips either. But what is going to be, so I ask myself the question, what is going to be my fish and chips in this restaurant?
Right.
What is the possibility? Well,
Yeah.
for the chips, we're taking okra and we're doing a truffle and Parmesan okra.
Nice.
But then we're serving it as the meat, we're taking lamb belly. So we cure the lamb belly, then we roast it, then we caramelize it. So it's a caramelized lamb belly served with truffle and Parmesan cheese okra.
Nice.
I'm here for that.
It's the possibility.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, why not?
Yeah.
You know, why not? So I will tell you this, the interior design, once you've been in the old restaurant and go back in this, you're going to be astonished. You're going to be like, this is significantly different. You're now in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been done well. And, you know, brunch is going to be a big thing for us. Our brunch is called Sunday's Best. And a Sunday's Best, you remember when you used to go to brunch and everybody's dressed up and having fun and all those good stuff?
Sure.
Oh, brunch is going to be, let me tell you, you don't want to miss brunch here. It's Sunday's Best. And a few more surprises with it. So, you know, but when you get high tea in this restaurant, you'll feel like you're at the Ritz in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
We built a new bar in there. So right now the team is working in cocktail. There's one cocktail that we'll definitely bring back from Perle days, and it's the Black Russian.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's great.
Oh, absolutely. So the space is just beautiful and fantastic.
Can I tell you
Yeah.
a funny story?
Sure.
Okay, so I was snooping around. To be honest,
Oh.
I was snooping the other day. So I'm in the Skirvin, and I just wanted to see how much I could see, you know, face pressed up against the glass from the inside. And it looked like a scene out of a movie because there was just this team of people, and you weren't one of them, right? Because you have your team.
Right.
And there were girls in pencil skirts with clipboards, you know,
Yep.
taking copious notes. And there were, you know, manager types, you know, pointing at things. And it just looked like I had stumbled
Yeah.
into a perfect little scene of a movie of just
That's
before
awesome.
you unwrap this present for all of us.
Yeah.
So I thought, and it brought back memories for me of walking through gray sweater
Yeah.
with you when it was down to the studs.
Oh, that's where it's
So-
at. That's where it's at. But you know, I'm glad you touched on that because it's that team. The team that helped put this whole thing together and the journey we're on and the attention to details. I can't find the words to express the determination to get it right. The details, and everyone involved in this project are all people from Oklahoma. I didn't use an outside designer. I didn't use, it's all local. It's unbelievable. It's like, I consider this a gift that we're given.
Yeah.
And I really think people are going to love it. It's the plates, the ambiance, the restaurant changed twice a day. You know, when you look at the website, it changes twice a day. When you go, night is significantly different from day. It's just so much going in it. And even the entrance to the restaurant now is located different. You can still enter from the hotel, but there's a separate entrance to the restaurant.
Separate spectacular
Yeah.
entrance, I might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
we're
great.
excited. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
We're excited too.
totally excited. And so people know you'll be open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You'll be doing room service. Is that?
We do room service.
Yeah.
We have food in the bar there also. And we do brunch on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday's Best.
Hey, thanks for listening to this first ever episode of the Food Dude and Friends. Lord willing, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. This episode was distributed and produced in partnership with KOSU. Massive thanks to Chef Andrew Black for agreeing to be our first guest and guinea pig. Big thank you to Dennis Spielman for providing video. For my co-host, Julie Porter Scott, I'm Dave Cathey. We'll see you next time on the Food Dude and Friends.